Hello there and welcome to this week of Rugby League, proudly presented by Winfield. And a very busy program to get through with the third test between Australia and New Zealand featuring from Lang Park on the Tuesday night. That took us, of course, to the Saturday. And the clash of Manly and Eastern Suburbs, and then the NEC big game on Sunday. That was a rip-roarer of a match and very exciting, with St George and Penrith in a battle of survival at the Sydney Cricket Ground. And that was followed by the turning on of the lights officially at Parramatta Stadium, and they played hosts, the Eels, to the North Sydney Bears. So, first things first, let's go back to Lang Park and watch the Aussies wallop the Kiwis and make it a clean sweep.
Let's have a look at the Australian team, unchanged since that second test in which they beat New Zealand 29-12. Gary Jack's #1, the fullback. Michael O'Connor and Les Kiss, a very nippy pair of wingers. Gene Miles and Brett Kenny in the centres. Kenny with a bit of an ankle problem. Wally Lewis and Peter Sterling the halves. Wayne Pearce is the lock forward. Little Stevie folks having a great series, combining with Crusher Cleal in the second row. The mean machine up front, Peter Tunks and Steve Roach, and Royce Simmons is the hooker. Now, here's the Kiwi side. The fullback is Gary Kemble. Had a pretty useful second test. Didn't do anything wrong. The wingers are Darryl Williams and Dane O'Hara in the centres. Big fella Joe Rapati and Gary Prome, who's moved back from the lock forward spot. Olsen Filipina and Gary Freeman are the halves. Ron O'Regan is the lock forward in the second row. A couple of top second rowers, Mark Graham and Big Hugh McGann. And in the front row, a tough nut, Kurt Sorensen. Barry Harvey's the hooker. And Brent Todd, who plays a bit of water polo. He's going to know all about that pretty soon. I hope he can play rugby league. He's the other front row forward. Your referee is Mr. Robin Whitfield from England, a controversial fellow, but a referee I like because he lets the game flow. That's what we like to see. That's what he likes to do. Okie doke, here comes Big Joe Rapati to kick off for New Zealand, your commentator, Ian Maurice.
Time signalled on and Joe Rapati starts this test match. Down for Peter Sterling, straight away to Les Kiss. Fine match he had at Sydney Cricket Ground just a week or two ago. So Australia with Royce Simmons making about 3 metres up towards the corner line. Now Peter Tunks. So the first penalty of the match to Robin Whitfield. We get from Robin Whitfield to Australia. Now an elbow to his face from the halfback, Gary Freeman. The Australians wouldn't hear that New Zealand were going to be very quiet. In fact, I spent some time with them today, and particularly the front row. They were expecting fireworks. Now, what can they do? Across to Lewis, to Tunks. Tunks has lost it. Retrieved by Gary Jack, but the referee Whitfield will play the knock on. And already some trouble brewing. And a penalty has gone to New Zealand. Back chatting. Referee Whitfield straight away, taking no cheek from any side. And a couple of the Australians had something to say. So New Zealand take the penalty. And Kemble finds touch right on the quarter line. Mark Graham comes up to restart. To Harvey, now to Sorensen. Very willing to tackle Sorensen, 3 of them in there. Wayne Pearce, the principal defender. And the Kiwis spill it as Prone couldn't handle it. Pushing and shoving, plenty of talking out there as Sorensen was in to make the tackle on Lewis. Now penalty has gone to Australia. Kiwis too keen up inside the 5 metres. And you can watch their, well, a couple of them moving up far too quickly, and referee Whitfield penalising them straight away.
I'm impressed with this fellow, Jack. Freeman of the referee. I think the referee's had a coaching lesson over the last fortnight. He's never started a game like this before. But I'm not critical of him. If he sees it, he's got to blow that whistle.
Well, Todd pretty keen to run it up, Ian.
Interesting player, Todd, isn't he? Water polo representative for New Zealand. Talking to Steve Roach about that today, and Roach was quite impressed that he was a water polo player. In fact, he said he hoped it doesn't rain too much tonight. New Zealand in possession with Sorensen. Getting a pass away, just been intercepted by Kenny. Kenny's got a pass away to Miles. And Miles caught 10 metres and a penalty's gone to Australia again. There's a punch on. Well, Miles took the pass and they carried on with it. Tunked in there saying, get out of here. Well, Miles took the tackle. And the referee has, well, he's called time off. Sterling's had something to say. And Whitfield is telling him that he doesn't have to say anything. And here's the incident. The pass intercepted by Brett Kenny, got under a high tackle. He gets a pass away to Miles there. A bit of a trip, I thought, and then coming in over the top, and plenty of work from Crone going in on Miles. Combination of a trip and some heavy work as Australia now take the tap. Lewis, that long floating pass out there for Miles, and up to Jack, and a long pass out to Kiss. Kiss stepping inside the corner now, Les Kiss. Australia right on the attack as Kiss plays it. Away to Folkes. Straight up goes Folkes. Caught by O'Regan. Sterling dummy half. Away to Lewis. Switching play now with a pass back to Miles. And he's only 12 metres out. Simmons from dummy half. Simmons getting a pass away to Sterling. It's still on. Sterling's in to score. Australia's first try of this test match. Put that down to Royce Simmons. Peter Sterling scored it. But the work came from Royce Simmons. That's why they're congratulating him. Little Roycey Simmons from dummy half, a dummy. They've hung off him, still going. I thought he was just about caught here, but how did he get this pass away? Amazing pass to Sterling, and the work had been done from Simmons. Sterling had a virtual clear passage to the line, and Australia's first try is on the board.
If you go to sleep on Simmons, which they did, you wake up empty.
Well, Sterling carried on the good work. Now the try scored just to the left of the posts. Michael O'Connor lines it up and makes no mistake. So with 27 minutes of the first half remaining, it's Australia 6, New Zealand 0. Interesting match.
Sure is. Plenty of power from both sides at the moment, and plenty of pace being shown too by both sides. Perfect night for rugby league here in Brisbane. Australia leading 6-0 at the moment at Lang Park as Lewis drives the ball down deep inside the 22. Campbell back to take it up. Brings it back. The defence makes him know. He gets the ball off to Williams. Now this fellow's got plenty of pace. We haven't seen him run in the dry track yet. Bounces out of that with the Australians. Ready, man, they've stolen the ball! Wally Lewis has stolen the ball. He'll score for Australia! Oh, yes! Well, a bad mistake from Williams. He's lost the ball, and Lewis says, thank you, I'll take another 4 points. Well, this came out of nothing. Here's Williams for giving him a rap from how quick he is. They've read the play. Lewis has just pitched the ball, headed for the corner, and scored 4 points for Australia. Well against the runner play, Wally Lewis. Jack Gibson.
I don't think you're supposed to do that. He just picked it off him. He pickpocketed him. And Lewis nicks it there. When he comes out, he was free.
O'Connor now. Just a touch in from the 22, about 4 metres in. Ball in the air, but it'll be right across the face of the sticks. So the score remains Australia 10, New Zealand 0.
Harvey plays it. Brent Todd. Welcoming committee there for him. Back to Magana, charge down. Sterling's dived on it, and Sterling says, and the referee says, that's fair enough, Sterling, you can play it. Well, referee had other ideas. Said it was Freeman who was able to come up with it. Oh, a swinging arm from Roach on Mark Graham. It missed. Now Gary Prone is caught. Watch this swinging arm again as Graham went in under it, just before he ducked his head. Now Sorensen stumbles as he came to the line of defence, but New Zealand in possession, 40 metres out from their own line. It's back to O'Regan. crowd thought there was a knock on. The referee thought otherwise, as Gary Jack again takes it safely. He's beaten one, caught by Sorensen around the top and Rapati around the legs, and Tunks is down. Tunks in back play down, injured as Australia spin the ball wide. Now Kiss dancing and weaving. Tunks in an attempt to take that kick before ended up on the receiving end. Now here's Cleo in the clear to the quarter line. A pass that's gone a mile forward, picked up by Lewis. And the referees hold at play for the forward pass.
It was an accident on Tunks. He went to block the kick, and the kick, he ran into the boot. He got the kick away, got the ball away, but he ran straight into his foot.
Well, there it is there. You can see him grimace as he caught it in the ribs. Across to Roach. Throwing it anywhere. Fortunately for Australia, Sterling was there to pick it up, and his pass has gone astray. Pearce is able to pick that up now. Folkes caught high. O'Regan in there on a high tackle on Sterling. The referee immediately giving the penalty, and very quickly in to stop any repercussions that may have come about as a result of that tackle. Here it is. This is Folkes. And O'Regan in high on him. So it's 10 points to nothing. Australia leading, Darryl.
Well, I'm not too impressed with what's going on in the back play and high tackles in this match. I mean, we knew it was going to be pretty tough, but it's getting pretty niggly out there, Jack Gibson. There's a lot of dirty stuff going on.
Well, I don't think the Kiwis can possibly break the defence of Australia. I think they're going to use a kicking game, but then again, this head-eye shots is not helping things.
And Australia keeping the ball wide. There was O'Connor. O'Connor sees the line as the Kiwis come across. O'Connor was a beautiful footwork, and he was going for the corner. They just bring him down. A great run from Michael O'Connor. He stood up in offence. He had him shot to pieces, and they herded him over the touchline as Kenny now takes it for Australia. Back they come. The Australians throwing everything at the line. Kenny hurt at the moment. Let's stay with Sterling. He gets on to Lewis. Lewis now has got Miles inside, but he can't handle the ball, and the Kiwis will take it 10 metres out from their line. Well, O'Connor had him stretched, and they herded him like cowboys with cattle over to that touchline and got him right, well, probably a metre short of the line. Here's McGahn now, dummy half. He gets it on to Sorensen. Sorensen winds up, and look at the body contact coming in here. He's just bustling players over, and he'll take everything they're throwing at him at the moment, Sorensen. He's big, tough, plenty strong. Big Mark Graham has wrestled down, and they're now midway between the quarter and the half. O'Regan, pretty fiery bloke, this fellow already. He showed us that at Carlisle Park. He's picked up Graham involved already. Now they start to spin it as Prome turns it back inside to Sorensen. Sorensen with a bit of room to move. Sorensen, they run him down and wrestle him down midway between the half and the quarter. The Kiwis on the rampage now. Australian defence slow to come back at the moment. Harvey gets it onto McGahn. He turns it back inside to Harvey. Harvey streaks it. He's got support inside with Todd. But a beautiful tackle on Todd brings him down. Simmons with a good tackle then. The ball comes back. McGahn picks it up. Starts to stride to the line. They belt him backwards too. 3 tackles all the time. Robin Whitfield is saying recount again. So another 6 to go. O'Regan gets it to Freeman. Freeman, oh, just stopped the jarring tackle. Brett Ketty. Big long pass this time to Mark Graham. A looper out for Rapati. He links up with Kemble. Kemble dancing, turns it back for Rapati. He can't take it. Oh yes, he's just play on. Rapati heading for the line, and they've just got him about 4 metres out. So the Kiwis with a chance now. They're nice and deep. Mark Graham trying to unload, but they wrap him up. 3 Australians onto him. 4th tackle for the Kiwis at the moment. Now here's O'Regan running sideways, gets it on to Prome. Prome throws a loose one back. But there's a knock on there. Well, they had Australia stretched then, Jack Gibson.
They played that inside that 50 metres particularly strong, especially early when Kurt had the ball. Frome just couldn't get to him.
The best chance that New Zealand's had to put points on the board. Now they must try and keep Australia pinned down, and they can't do it as Pearce, running off Folkes, makes a beautiful clean break, linking up with Kiss, but Kiss can't handle it. Over his head, knocked back to the referee, play on, as Miles Gets one back to Simmons. Simmons showing a sidestep. Now he finally takes the tackle. Beautiful break from Pearce that was. And here's Kiss again, taking play inside New Zealand's half. 10 points to nothing. Australia lead. And New Zealand have come up with it. It's back with O'Regan. Now across to Sorensen. And then to McGann. Oh, McGann. Nowhere to go then. Finally playing it to Darryl Williams. Williams back inside Australia's half. Harvey's a dummy half. Finally back to Crome. Running off him was Todd. Now to McGann. Again McGann. No one to pass to. Finally getting it back to Graham. And then Sorensen. And referee said that's no knock-on. Play on. The Kiwis right away as the halfback. Freeman still going strongly. Getting it back to Todd. Todd got a pass to Williams. Williams out for the Kiwis. Well, that's a controversial one. The crowd claimed there was a knock-on back there by Sorensen. Referee said, no, sir, that's a try. It was good work from the halfback Freeman. Watch it with us. Now, here's McGann. He had no one to pass to. Finally, got it back to that one there. There's a knock-on there for sure. But the referee said to play on. And finally it was Harvey and Freeman linking up, and Freeman, the halfback, doing a bit of fancy dancing, getting it back to Todd, onto Williams. Williams did the rest, but for mine, that should have been no try, Jack.
Well, it was good enough for forward, maybe a little knock on, maybe a little forward pass. But they done something with the football, didn't they?
Okay, well, I reckon there was a knock on, but the referee said that'll do us. Some good work from the halfback, regardless of the knock on. He did well. Finally linking up with Todd, and that was a good ball from Todd as well.
We might sit Robin up here where we're sitting. He's got a far better view.
So now Olsen Filipina with the attempted conversion, 11 metres in from touch. It's 2 steps back. Concentration from Olsen. Moves into it, hit it pretty sweetly, and it's a beautiful kick from Olsen Filipina. That keeps the Kiwis right in this match. Australia 10, New Zealand 6. And Pearce detached himself pretty quickly to pick it up. And the touch judge is in, and he spotted the halfback Freeman doing something he shouldn't have. O'Connor.
Well, the line umpire went in and backed off, put the flag up and backed off and went home again.
We'll let Australia run the advantage, I guess. Now, the back line of Australia moving freely as Gary Jack came into it beautifully, and Jack is caught just 3 metres short of the line. Now Australia with another golden opportunity to score as Sterling flicks it back inside for Lewis. Rushes aside one volley, slipped the pass away to Brett Kenny, and Kenny's in to score. Oh, beautiful work from Lewis and Kenny. Beautiful switch of play. Kenny was at dummy half. It came back to Sterling. Inside for Lewis, the change of direction. And look at that beautiful pass for Brett Kenny to go in and score. A very, very good try. Well, Stephen Folkes has left the field for Australia. Brian Niebling is on. Well, that's a blow for Australia. Check on that injury to Folkes. As O'Connor, right from the touchline, the kick is flagged away. 14-6 with 4 minutes of play remaining in this first half.
Todd from the Linwood Club in Canterbury. As Mark Graham gets a nice ball off the deck, but they can't handle it. Australia comes up with it. Pearce now. They just come to him, but he's taken play well away from the 22, so out of that danger zone. Cleal starts to dance, unloads to Simmons. Simmons under on high. Simmons going, geez, playing well, Simmons. Dangerous from that area, close to the rucks. Makes plenty of ground. He's the old-fashioned style of halfback, but by geez, refreshing. Roach.
Pearce certainly doesn't look too healthy out there. He's down. He's receiving attention.
Lots of swinging arms here tonight as Tunks now goes for a run. He's taken down. He's been playing with a bad knee and a hip injury for the latter part of this season. Niebling takes play right on the halfway line. Pearce still down on one knee now. He would be the fittest player playing rugby league, Pearce, so if he's down, he's hurt. Kemble. Back over the 22, Kemble. Still going, Kemble. Oh, and down they take him. And boy, oh boy, some high tackles here at Lang Park tonight. O'Hara can't handle it. Pearce still down in the back play, just resting on that one knee. Here's Todd. Tackle on the 22. Let's go back. Oh, he's hobbling badly, Pearce. Let's have a look how it happened. Well, there's the tackle. I'd say there's been a twist in there, but he's hobbling very badly and back on his knee again. But let's come back to the play. Kiwis have the ball on the 22. Mark Graham turns it back inside for Sorensen. Sorensen unloads well. That's Harvey, the hooker. Freeman gets on to McGahn. McGahn kicks. Pearce going off. O'Connor takes it for Australia as Pearce walks off the field. So Folkes and Pearce now off, and there's Pearce, and it's not very often you see that man come off the football field. On comes Lamb. Not a bad replacement, Jack Gibson. Terry Lamb.
Great replacement. I certainly want to watch him play, but not this way with Pearce off.
Takes his first pass. Terry Lamb, one of the best players playing the game, and can't get a start in this great side as Roach strides forward. Still going, Roach, as the Kiwis cling to him. And he's taken play now midway between the quarter and the half. Not long to go. Seconds remaining in this first half. It comes out to Lewis. Lewis gets it back to Terry Lamb. Lamb gets out of the tackle. Drives the ball for the line. And finds it. The referee, Robin Whitfield, says that's it for the first half. We have a lead of Australia 14, New Zealand 6.
Dane O'Hara, who had his head split wide open in that first half, has it heavily strapped as referee Whitfield blows time on for the second half. Lewis taking an awful long time for this to restart. I think he was kicking for goal the way he's lined that up. Sent it right down into the in-goal area, and that's why he's taken his time, because he's found the dead ball line, and Australia will get the ball back, because the rule is that if you kick it over the dead ball line from the start of play, the defending side will restart with a goal line dropout. That's why he's taken so long to kick it, Jack.
There's no communication there. The ball's arriving, and we've got two players there standing there like stumps. They never move.
A good start for Australia as Jack takes the restart. Takes it up towards the Kiwi quarter line, with Australia leading by 14 points to 6. This is Niebling inside the quarter now. Simmons straight into that dummy half position. Shows it either way and turns it back for Tunks, who's 12 metres short of the line. So Australia right on the attack from the opening whistle. Simmons getting it away to Sterling. Quick hands to Niebling, a dummy. Caught though by Freeman, 10 metres out. Terry Lamb. A low pass to Sterling, to Lewis, the little kick ahead, and there's Brett Kenny going for it, and he's in to score another try! Oh, what a beautiful kick, and what a beautiful move from the Australians. Lewis quickly took it, and there was something on, because he was not running at all. Watch it. Well picked up by Sterling, straight away the little kick, and Kenny knew exactly what was on. And there it stood up for him, and Kenny beautifully in for an Australian try in the opening 2 minutes of the second half.
I think they might have rehearsed this a couple of times, but the build-up for this particular try was the no communication on kickoff. Australia get the football.
Oh, and he struck it magnificently. Oh, what a magnificent kick from Michael O'Connor. 20 points to 6. What can the Kiwis do, Darryl?
They need to do a little bit more of what Gary Campbell just did. By gee, he ran through the Australian side. He's a good stepper, and that's what they've got to do. They've got to go forward with the ball. And Australia already have just pinched it again. I mean, they're losing possession, New Zealand. Australia on every loose ball. And they're playing with so much determination as Roach brings it up. Roach with half a bust. Roach, the big boy, gets one round the corner. Gets it on to Gene Miles. He's brought down inside the 22. And that was good defence from O'Hara, but here's Crusher Cleal. Cleal on the ball. Gets a loose pass up. It'll go in. Miles. They pick it up. And they're just short. It's only centimetres in it now. The Kiwi defence stretched. Australia right on the line. Loose ball. Lewis falls on it. 6 to go, referee Robin Whitfield says.
Well, it was 6 or a penalty. He was offside.
6 to go, he says, Jack, as it comes out to Sterling, goes out to Gary Jack. Gary Jack tries to spin him, but a good tackle brings him down. Darryl Williams. Oh, geez, tackle well this Williams tonight. Sterling puts a reverse pass in as they wrestle Simmons down. And they're just off centre on the 22. Lewis turns it back to Cleal. On the 22, Australia. Well, they were so close again, Australia. Lewis with another long floating out to Kenny. Kenny now links up with Gene Miles. He loses the ball down, and the Kiwis have it. O'Regan's been a little quieter. Here he is with the ball now. Good play, this O'Regan. Mark Graham's made the bust. He's got Freeman in support, but couldn't unload, and Freeman was running like a shearer's dog beside the big man. But here we go now with Owen Wright. He slips a quick ball to Sorensen. They handball it back to Kemble. Again, it's on for McGann. McGann goes, still going. McGann almost to the 22. Flicks a wild pass back, ball loose. Ball's into touch.
Well, that was fair enough, too. It's just on a last place situation.
See it again. McGann now sort of running through, trying to break the tackle, and just lost the ball as he came down. Scrum packs now Australia's way. Kenny split him again. Support coming across. Kiss trying to link up. Kiss has got it now. Stands him up. Kiss, he's an exciting player. Throws the ball wildly back inside. Terry Lamb has towed it. And then slow by Robin Whitfield brings it back. Well, it's happening here at 100 mile an hour. Listen to the crowd at Lang Park. Here it is now. Watch this Kiss. He's an exciting player. Throws the ball loose. Terry Lamb puts the toe to it. Referee Robin Whitfield has brought it back. Kiwi ball. Oh, and a big tackle too from Wally Lewis. Freeman outside the 22. Well, Freeman's hurt. Lewis goes straight over him. They've got a lot of respect for this little halfback.
They might finish this game with 12 people. New Zealand.
Freeman from the Northcote Club in New Zealand. He's showed plenty of flair at the Sydney Cricket Ground. We'll have a look at the incident. He goes down now, and yeah, knee in the back. No doubt about that. Runners coming through. O'Regan gets it on now to Graham. Graham's trying to unload, but he can't. Stands up, belted down. Harvey a dummy half. On to Freeman, the man that was down. Into a little chip over the top of Freeman. Can he get the bounce? He does! Freeman, he's a clever little player, and he's got a bit of room to move. Defence comes across, still going Freeman, barging his way through. Gets it on to Sorensen. Sorensen turns it back inside the frame. Oh, Harvey's there, and it's a loose pass. They tried to handball it back, Kurt Sorensen, and it didn't work. But good play, New Zealand. Oh, put it down to Freeman. What an exciting little player he is. Now watch this. Watch Freeman. Steps there, holds the ball, throws a dummy, gets under Sterling, comes back the other way, unloads the ball, gets it onto Sorensen. Now Sorensen just spit him back. He gave it back to Prome. Prome unloaded very quickly.
Now Owen Wright. Australian defence has been very, very good all night. Now Mark Graham. Stepping, turning a ball back inside for the hooker Harvey. And he's caught only about a metre or two from the line, so the Kiwis really launching a strong attack now. Spinning it wide from O'Regan. Out to Cooper. Cooper. Last tackle signal now for the Kiwis. Out for Graham. The defence too good, hanging on to him, and that's a changeover. Roach wants to go on with it. McGann says, I'll have a bit of this, and so does Tunks. And often see this man leave a match early, so it's safe to assume that it's a fairly serious one. Penalty's gone to Australia from the Nanalo. It's on now. Steady on, fellas. Well, it was only a matter of time. There's Kiss getting a few good right uppercuts in there. And in the background, Royce Simmons exchanging punches. Oh, it's all on. Everybody's involved. It's spilled over the dead ball line. Freeman wants to go on with Simmons. Well, I think everybody on the field was involved in that. It has been simmering right through this match. Who started it is anybody's guess. It started probably from the kickoff. Sorensen having plenty to say. Here's how it started, perhaps, is kicked through by Freeman. Freeman dived on the Australian player, Cleal, and from then on it was everybody. Watch Kiss. 1, 2, and another one. And in the background, Simmons is letting a few good right hands go. Boy, oh boy. How can you adjudicate on that? Well, everybody's been called in.
They look like they're playing two up.
Blood streaming from Steve Roach.
Cleal winding up. Puts one out the back door, and there's another swinging arm from Sorensen as they go down. Australia nice and deep now. Sterling gets it onto Lewis. Lewis goes back inside. A lovely ball off the ground, but no one there to take it. They're standing around and look. Rusher says, I'll have a run. He lets it go. Still loose. The referee says play on as Niebling takes it up to the 22. Inside the 22 is Niebling. Leaves it back to O'Connor. Here's Sterling. He'll put it in the air. And plenty of chasers coming through, and they'll need some courage to take this one. The ball goes up. Waiting on referee. No try. Well, Robin Whitfield really bent down and had a good look then, Jack, didn't he?
Well, he went down for an inspection. I don't know what he was looking for.
Here it is again, as up they go from another angle, and you can see the ball loose, hands going everywhere, and Robin Whitfield did the right thing. He went and had a real good look before he awarded that scrum 5 metres out from the line. Right, in it goes. Let's see what happens in the scrum. It's twisting around. There's players on top of each other. Now it's Australia's ball. Here's Gary Jack. Pass out for O'Connor. Oh, and Freeman came in again. Well, Freeman might be tiny, but I tell you what, there's plenty of spark in him. He likes to throw a few. Sterling throws one out to Lewis. Lewis, it goes back to Gene Miles, and Gene Miles will put it over the top. And that's Australia's answer to the violence. We'll score tries. You throw the punches. Well, it all started with O'Connor there. Plenty of sparks going, but Sterling quickly got it to Lewis. Lewis gave it to Big Gene Miles. He just stepped back inside and right between the posts. And look at the elation coming out of the Queenslanders. I think Wally's getting emotionally involved there for a moment as Lewis comes back inside. And there he is, Big Gene Miles slams it down for 4 points for Australia. And Wally getting emotionally carried away.
Left the boot sweetly, and it's right between the posts. So Australia further in front by 28 points to 6. Back to Sorensen. Offloading finally to Filipina. He did well to get his hands free and offload to O'Regan, to McGahn, and on to Prome. It converge on him, but he's still able to make some progress. Finally, when he's caught, he's 32 metres out from the Australian line. It's to O'Regan. Long floating pass for Filipina. Clever ball underneath. Beautiful pass away for Darryl Williams. Darryl Williams for the line. Caught by Jack. Oh, lovely tackle, Jack. Oh, that's beautiful football. Beautiful attack and magnificent defence. Watch that again with us as Williams got a lovely pass from... Stepped nicely, but Jack covered him beautifully and pushed him over the touchline.
Yeah, all he needed was a receiver. 7, the halfbacks coming across, but he arrived from the scene far too late. Well, they're making plenty. They've got to make a few too. There's 6 minutes to go. They're going to make a lot more. They got to, every time they get the ball, they've got to go for try.
Filipina again. Gets on a Prome. Prome with a break. Now they've got a bit of room to move. He flicks one back inside the Freeman. Freeman winds up. He's got Filipina there. And he's looking for support. Filipina kicks out of one. And a great tackle. Oh, beautiful tackle from Wally Lewis. Stopped the movement dead. But they're still inside the 22. A chance now. Unloading. Good ball back inside. Ropati will play it. Goes from Prome, out wide, Mark Graham. Mark Graham now, 10 metres out. Cooper, a dummy half. Out it comes to McGahn. He gets it on to Sorensen. Sorensen out wide. Good ball for Williams. Williams heading for the corner. They're in. The Kiwis have finally got over. Well, Darryl Williams. Second try, and he deserved it too. He's played well all night. He's tried very, very hard. He's got plenty of pace, this fellow. And a pretty big heart. He hasn't stopped trying all night. Now watch it here. Cooper got it out to McGahn. McGahn gets it across to Sorensen. Sorensen, beautiful little short pass up for Williams, and he's got the pace, Williams, and over in the corner.
Well, it's a beautiful little forward pass, but he still got it away. Certainly got some speed, that too.
Filipina now, 3 metres in from touch, right on the 22. Not an easy angle. He's only taken 2 paces back. He certainly got the height and got the 2 points. So Olsen Filipina put some more points on the board. It's now 28-12. Sterling now. Beats for Australia, and it'll be Australia's way too. Out to Lamb. Lamb puts the ball in the air. The chasers are coming through. Can Gary Jack get the bounce? He does! Gary Jack gets the bounce, but there was just no one there. Gist tried to get with him, but couldn't. But some good play for the Australians. They're trying everything. Gist now from dummy half. Winds up. He's 12 metres out from the line. Can Australia score now? Jack Gibson read it. He said they had more chance. Here it goes. Lewis. Long floater out. Goes to Kenny. They get the goal and they've scored. Australia's gone in with only seconds to go. And look at Don Ferner. All smiles. Great try from Australia. Teamwork of this side now. Sterling slips it out. He gets to Lewis. Lewis with a beautiful pass. Gets it to Kenny. Kenny with a long floating pass also for O'Connor. And no one there. Prame got there far too late. O'Connor over.
He didn't want to put the ball down this winger. He's going to try and march infield a little bit. He hasn't had it that much, so I suppose he wanted to massage just a couple of seconds longer.
We made a win. What a great performance from Australia. They've whitewashed the Kiwis in this series, 3-0. Kiwis kicking off quickly. They want to play it out. Kiss, that beautiful step that he's got. And here's the countdown. And it's all over in Lane Park. Australia have defeated New Zealand 32 points to 12, winning the series in a clean sheet, 3-0. And what a magnificent series it's been too. The Kiwis put up a brave showing at Carlisle Park, another one at the Sydney Cricket Ground, and again here at Lane Park. They weren't good enough, but they're the second best side in the world at the moment. But Australia certainly the best side.
A magnificent Test series win to Australia, and it allows both the New Zealanders and the Australian players to concentrate on the Sydney and Brisbane premierships. And concentrate they did last Saturday at Brookvale Oval when it was Manly Warringah at home against Eastern Suburbs in what turned out to be one of the most open games of the 1986 season.
And there's the huge Noel Cleal leading out this very powerful Manly side. Okay, they've had a few injury problems this year, but they've got a lot of depth. And look at the lineup. Steve Hegarty's in because Chris Close is out. So Ronson is on in the centre. Shearer, his partner, had a great game against East in the first round. Look out for Blake and Hasler as ever. Lions a tremendous season. And that man there, Ron Gibbs, since he came from Eastern Suburbs, he's disciplined himself. And his defence has been absolutely shattering, Steve-O, on a number of occasions. He's blasted sides off the paddock.
He certainly has, but I disagree with you on this, the fact that he's disciplined himself. I think there's been quite a few times this season that I'm sure his coach, Bob Fulton, would have been pulling his hair out. He's giving away silly penalties, and I think that playing against his old club today, I'm sure that Eastern Suburbs are going to do exactly the same. They're going to try to goad him into swinging that arm or being a bit head-eye.
Brian Johnson at fullback, Gary Worth out through injury, Prome and McGahn back from test match duty. Watch for Brendan Hall, a young 5'8", who's got a very big future in the game, and it's not a bad pack of forwards. They can tackle those fellas, and they may give Manly a terrific game here this afternoon if that defence holds.
Certainly will, but I think that the conditions, it's obviously suited to the speed merchants today, and I think that's where Phil Blake, I mean, the ground's very hard, it's quite warm out there, and I'm sure the forwards aren't looking forward to it. I'm sure that Phil Blake, it's just the type of condition for someone with class and speed to do it.
And this fella has defended superbly for Eastern Suburbs this year. He had a spell when he was suspended, and that was after the first round match against Manly when he was sent off for a head high against Des Hasler. But here's the action. Kevin Roberts in charge, and it's Dale Shearer who kicks off. A magnificent day here. The ground very, very firm. Not much breeze out there, really, and it's Hugh McGahn who takes it back. Well, let's see what East can do here with Simpkins, who's been a real forager for them in the middle throughout the season, taking it up strongly. That's Gilmister, who came from Brisbane to East this year and has played so well for them.
Certainly has, Jim. He had a great game last week against Parramatta.
And there's an early penalty to East against Manly, not releasing the player in possession. Tell you what, they're not keen on these new plastic-coated pills they're playing with, Steve-O.
No, the New South Wales Rugby League, would you believe, they've allowed the players this weekend to make an assessment if they want them. If they don't, well, they'll bring the old ones back. And at least that's good thinking by the boys down in Phillip Street.
They go like dead ducks for the goal kickers, except the round the corner boys. Now that's Brian Johnson in the line. East's right on the quarter. That's Mackay with Hastings. They've got a bit jammed up to Tessman, trying to keep it alive. Slipped it well. Look at this for the corner. It's a try. Trevor Patterson has scored the try. Well, Brad Tessman it was who made the try, and it was Trevor Patterson in support who did well to score it.
Really was, and you've got to put the blame down here to Manly defence. You can see them just stood there. They held off, and Lyons missing this tackle, but Tessman, well, one knee onto the ground, gets the ball away, and Patterson, he knew where he was going, and a good try. No doubt about that.
Mackay with Simpkins. Another one. Hall gives it to McGahn. Hastings, right in the thick of the action. Back on the blind, it goes to Patterson. Patterson slips through. Here comes Chalice. This man's got a bit of pace. Goes down there and he gets him. Marty Gurr stops him. Good run, though. Again, East, look at the move here. Hastings, support with Melrose. Johnson, over the top. French back inside. They've had 4 tackles. That's McGahn. It goes again to Mackay. They slip it to Prome. You probably saw Roberts' count going up to about 5 before. Obviously, Manly touched it in one of those plays. Gilmister on the last tackle. He's seen a gap, but he's lost it. Well, at least from East's point of view, it's a scrum and not a handover.
Well, Manly can think themselves very lucky indeed, because once again, the Eastern Suburbs exploiting that blind side. And I get the impression, Jim, that a lot of those Manly players, when they're going on that blind side, they're going there for a rest. They're not moving up.
Back to Hastings. Melrose. Patterson a dummy half. Hastings. A bomb. Lottery ball, and it's a try to Patterson. Trevor Patterson's second try. A great bit of opportunism by Eastern Suburbs, with Hastings whacking up the bomb and Trevor Patterson making a great leap for it.
Well, Manly did well here. In fact, Gibbs stopping what would have been a field goal, but Trevor Patterson right up there and fully deserved it. And quite frankly, Eastern Suburbs are really on the boil. It came off Gibbs's back. Not much that Gurr could do about it.
So East lead 10-0. And let's see if that startles the Sea Eagles into some action. Offside, inside the 5. And now Cochrane probably have a shot at goal here. He's keen to get up on Manly. Just thinking of that previous penalty when he gave Manly a penalty for, I think it was Prome or Melrose stealing the ball over there. It's one of the interesting things about the Test match, I thought, the other night, that Robin Whitfield really allowed that to go a lot of the time. What our referees normally penalise players for.
Especially when Lewis pinks the ball off the wingman.
Amazing.
Well, this is good play by Manly. Rather than electing to go over the 2 points, they've got to get into the swing of things.
So that's Daly, close to the line. It's an awkward pass and they've lost it. No, they haven't. The count starts again, so they're still in with the hope. That's Poulsen. Just 5 metres out. Manly slow to start today. Look at Cleal, he's over! I wouldn't want to stop him from there. It's like trying to stop a truck. Watch him.
He's a big boy, good switch of play by the hooker, and he really had got his momentum going. He's a strong fellow, and that came about by good captaincy by Cleal. He could have taken the easy option, gone for the 2 points, but he realised that they were going through the horrors, Manly. They had to have the possession and try to get into the swing of things, and what better way to get into the swing than 4 points.
And his kick is straight, so just 4 points between them. With 13 minutes to go. A pretty warm afternoon here at Brookvale. Out wide, here comes Prome. French is there. Gary Prome, what a good run. French, Hall, Gilmister, Hastings. Patterson. Patterson's got Chalice there. Hastings, Mackay. Gilmister. What a pass. Brandon Hall's going to score here. Look at that. What a try to Eastern Suburbs. The 5'8", Brendan Hall backing up beautifully. Gee, you want to see this pass again from Gilmister. It was fantastic.
You won't see any better than this. Freak. Absolute freakish pass. But this youngster, well, he had a good game against Parramatta last week and has continued on in the same vein. But what a ball. And that's how you run onto a pass. Even though where it came from, probably Hall has no idea.
Melrose kicks it, and what a handy lead. They lead by 10 with 7 minutes to go in this first half. Lions with Poulsen. Cleal, what a fend from Cleal. The pass goes to Gurr. Now Lions. About 4 minutes left in the first half. Manly down by 10. Philip Blake. Oh, he's got the bounce and he scored. What a genius that man is. Phil Blake. They'll love that at Warrington.
They'd love that anywhere, Jim. And this wasn't a fluke. He knew he was going off the side of his boot. Just watch this. He knew exactly where he was going. He gets the bounce. Johnston just too late.
Cochrane's conversion. He's missed it. Well inside the posts. It's 16 to 10. 2 minutes left in the first half. And Manly threaten again. Cochrane, Hasler, Blake, Shearer. Prone missed him. Shearer still going ahead. Determined stuff from Dale Shearer. And a penalty against French, holding him down. That, in a way, that has stopped the momentum for Manly. A quick play is what they need. Time almost up for this first 40 minutes. Daly. All in a bunch, on the blind, Lions, and Davis scores the try. Wasn't that cunning? They're all in a bunch, really. East should have anticipated it. It was a simple blindside move, and Stuart Davis went over without a hand laid on him.
Well, it's obvious Eastern Suburbs were expecting the kick from Cochrane. And as he's done on 3 occasions to put Manly in a position to score those tries, Cochrane has gone one way, dummied, pulled the ball back the other way, and he's had a runner onto it. This time it was Lyons on the blind side, and instead of going himself, he fed Davis, and no one there.
Let's see how he hits this one. That's a nice looking kick. Yes, what a great kick. And it's levelled the scores at half-time. 16 all here at Brookvale. What a fantastic first half of action we've had. 6 tries. Arthur Beetson getting back into position after a quiet half-time break in the dressing room. Chalice, Hastings, Tessman, woof! Jeez, he ran into Gibbs there and bounced off him. Those two are having a terrific go in the first half. Gibbs and Tessman. And now there's a penalty. It's about the 10th penalty in the game for that, holding the man down. Melrose, he's kicked it. 2 points ahead, 4 minutes into the second half.
And I get the feeling now, Jim, that Manly have decided to use their forwards. They think that that's the way to go, down the middle.
That was Daly's pass, cleaned up by McMillan. You can see the move on. Still going forward with Lyons. The message from the dressing room is that Manly are going to use the bomb a lot in the second half. Let's see if they do. Cleal. They mightn't have to with some of the talented players they've got. Look at Cleal. Now, what happened in there? He copped something in the tackle.
Well, Tessman went in with a swinging arm. Roberts actually gave Tessman a running warning. It really was a hard one. See here, Tessman, Warshka, and another Warshka.
Yep, he tapped him on the backside, indicating a bit of a warning.
Cleal doesn't need telling that there was a swinging arm. Unless the mosquitoes are pretty big at this time of year, Jim.
It's Lyons. 2 more tackles for Manly. Hasler, Blake. Cuts out Shearer. There's Gibbs. The last one. What priced the bomb? It's Blake's kick across the paddock to French. French knocked it. Look at Davis. Thank you. It's a try. Lucky bounce. But Stuart Davis was there for his second try of the game.
Well, it was a good kick. Kicked it out of the traffic. Now, whether Davis was onside is a bit dubious. French made a meal of it. Davis didn't.
Cochrane's conversion is swinging straight and through. Great kick from Mal Cochrane. Manly back in the lead. Gilmister. Simpkins. Good ball to Horry. Horry Hastings, about 5 metres from the line. East stirring it up. Hall. That's Gilmister. East trail by 4 points. Hall. Batiste. Patterson.
Well, the blind's a chance here. Shearer is limping badly on this blind side.
Hastings chip kick, and is kicked dead by Dale Shearer.
Well, it was Johnny on the spot there, and you can see he's having a lot of trouble walking.
Batiste to play it for Easts. That's Tasman. McGann, a runner. Johnson. East's all bunched behind the ruck. It's Gilmister. Chalice. Last tackle. Now what's Horry going to do here? He goes for the bomb. It's going to bounce somewhere. Sideways, look out. French scores. French scores the try. The battle of the bouncing ball.
Put another try
east
down.
way. Look at this one.
Put another try down to this wonderful ball. And you can't blame the players for exploiting it. This was a good kick. Crossfield kick again. Beautiful ball here. And Davies all at sea. So's the ball. French isn't. But it's to be expected. It's been a pretty rugged game.
There's Blake. Hegarty, good ball. Shearer. Stop, start, and away. Now he sprints straight down the touchline. Brian Johnson gets him. Oh, that was exciting, wasn't it?
Certainly was, from a player that was limping very badly 5 minutes ago, but didn't he stand him up here? And this is the reason why he's an international player. That really was great play. And just didn't have the pace.
Hasler. Strong defence. It bumped the ball loose. That really was strong tackling by Easts again. Here's a show for them. Crome to Tasman. Crome again. Field goal from Hastings. It's there. Hastings kicks the field goal and they lead by a point. And Hastings immediately says, get back to the line for the quick kickoff. East in front. He finds Hall charging ahead again.
They've only 6 minutes to do it in.
Batiste, what a good run. Support from Portlock. Look at this, this should be a try. Hasler giving chase, but he gives it unselfishly to Chalice, and he finishes it off, and Manly for the day. Eastern Suburbs lead by 5 points. That should be the ball game.
Certainly is, Jim. And you can put that down to a bad decision by coach Bob Fulton. Now Batiste goes through. He realises that Hasler, there he is. He can't chase anyone. Where's the speed? The gap's there. Hasler decided a beautiful pass out wide. And really, that really was a bad play. Dale Shearer, should I say. This is good play by Batiste. And a strong game. Beautiful ball inside. And watch, there you see Shearer. Now they've been warming up this young kid, Paul Vinneberg, for 10 minutes.
And he's pushed it wide, just pushed it wide. So 5 points between them, coming down to the wire here at Brookvale. What a sensational afternoon's entertainment this has been for the fans.
The big question last Sunday at the Sydney Cricket Ground was, would it be the last throw of the dice for St George or Penrith, as neither of these two teams could afford a loss in the race for the Winfield Premiership.
Thanks for joining us and welcome to the NEC big game in round 22 of the Winfield Cup between St George and Penrith, with today's match coming from the famous Sydney Cricket Ground. 22 and 23 points respectively. That's where they sit on the premiership ladder going into the game, and both teams absolutely desperate for a win to keep their final 5 chances alive. They met back in May in round 9. That was at Penrith, and the Panthers were too good, winning 22 points to 6. The Dragons, they come into the match after their hard-fought win last weekend over the Magpies, and here's their team: Burgess, Walford, O'Connor, Johnston, Johns, Linane, Haddock, Selby, Funnel, Fafita, Young, Guider and Walsh. For the Panthers, they come into the match after a sensational 11-all draw with Manly last weekend. Here's their readout: Lydiard, Green, Izzard, Wolf, Gonzalez, Clements, Alexander, Van der Voort, Houghton, Izzard, Goodwin, Simmons and Gerard. Same team, isn't it? Almost. The referee for this all-important St George Penrith clash, the man who did so well, I thought, last Monday at Belmore, Bill Harrigan. Alexander to kick off as Penrith run left to right. Running into the Randwick end of the ground, and immediately a knock on from the St George number 5. Johns knocking on just outside his own line. Brought about by their own doing. Very big push by the Dragons. A penalty to Penrith, though. Loose arm in the scrum is the order for the differential penalty. Alexander just chipping it back about 7 metres to put more space between his side and the defence of St George. Goodwin. It's the 10-metre line that he's tackled on. Van der Voort, Simmons, a cutout ball, picking up Lydiard. Tackler was Johns. Van der Voort. Evans above, he got very close, too close for comfort for St George. Simmons, Alexander, Gerard. Strong performer last Sunday. Alexander, a kick across the ground, looking for a fast wingman, but can't find one available at the time. Line drop out. This is Funnel, the number 9 for St George, kicking into the no-ball corner. Finding it 32, 33 metres from the Penrith line. It's now or never for St George, that's for sure. This is John Fafita. Guider's the dummy half in 12. Now it's Welsh. And that whistle sounds again from Harrigan. They're inside the 5, the Panthers, and a presentation 2-pointer for Mike O'Connor, the St George sharpshooter. O'Connor's kick from right in front, 22 out. It left the boot beautifully. The flags are in the air. The points are on the board. St George 2, Penrith yet to score. NEC big game from the SCG. Haddock goes to the right. They're running in towards the old Paddington Hill as Funnel stands and gets it back to the little Guider. Then to Haddock, and he's swamped by Izzard. Craig Izzard, he had to knock the little bloke over. Ball and all, that he did. Guider trapped at dummy half, stands, gets it back for Linane, sees an opening, goes for it, up to the 10-metre line. O'Connor jinks and tries to pirouette out of a tackle, but he's held on that 10-metre line. Still some tackles remaining in this set of 6 as Linane gets it to Young, hit and spin, back for Selby, similar ball, out wide. Walford didn't move with the urgency that I thought he should have, even though he still might score a try. No, Linane gets the ball away. Great hands, Brian Johnston. Brian Johnston is 2 metres from that corner. Played there in the Paddington Hill corner, through to Haddock, and again a swamping tackle by Clements. It was required, it was delivered. Played back to Johns. Johns is tackled 8 metres from the Penrith line. Saints leading 2 points to 0. Guider goes from dummy half, gets the pass back. It's dived on by Johnston. They lost about 12 metres. Van der Voort was the tackler. The tackle sickened Johnston just a little. Now it's Walsh who goes back to make up the lost leeway. And he's tackled 5 metres in from touch on the hill stand side of the ground. This is the last tackle. Along to Linane. Linane puts the grubber in. Izzard reads it well, takes it on the bounce and runs it back 15 metres from his own line. And so it's Chris Houghton. Houghton's over the 22 line. Pulled down by Selby. Match comment, Graham Hughes.
Well, as Billy Anderson was saying, a lot of pressure on the backs out wide in this game. St George were trying to continually wrap the ball 2 and 3 times the one direction, then bring the ball back out wide to try and catch both Kenny Wolf and Brad Izzard out of play. And likewise, the Panthers have been trying to do the same thing with St George. St George play a left and right defence. We've mentioned it before on air quite a few times that O'Connor and also Brian Johnston getting caught on different sides of the football field, and that's where the break should be coming out wide.
You're watching the NEC big game, and if you'd like to see Australia and England do battle in the third test on this year's Kangaroo Tour to the UK, look for the NEC footy trivia game in tomorrow's 8-page NEC League lift-out in the Daily Mirror. As Izzard off the ground, a catch and a pass in one motion. This is Green to the 22 line. Roy Masters watching on as it comes to Kenny Wolfe now. He gets inside the 22. So it's Penrith's turn to put some pressure on St George. Played back to Simmons. Houghton takes it ahead. Simmons back. In behind the play the ball is Craig Izzard. He's about 6 metres from the line. Penrith very deliberately working up for a set play. The kick ahead. Lydiard will score. That's a try, I think. I think he'll give a try. Whether in fact he ground it with the satisfactory downward pressure required, that remains to be seen on the head-on replay provided by NEC. No doubt it's inside the dead ball line. No doubt Lydiard's hand goes to it. But did he ground it with downward pressure? See it again.
Well, Greg Alexander's refrained from running himself, but he's such a dangerous player that he pulls plenty of defence. Here was the little kick through. Lydiard followed it up, and on that replay, he did get the ball down.
No question, it's a try. A good rolling by referee Bill Harrigan. He only saw it once. We're looking at it for the 4th time. The Diamond Vision screen apparently replaying out the try. It brought a hoot and a holler from the St George fans, maintaining that maybe he didn't force it correctly. But I believe it was a fair try. Bill does too. It's Penrith 6, St George 2. Simmons, Alexander, Clements, Izzard, Clements, Alexander, little sprint, Goodwin over the halfway. A run of 15 metres for the prop. Stands, Simmons, Izzard, Brad with the ball now. And a good piece of football by Penrith as they kept the ball alive, promoted it some 25 metres, and now through 3 sets of hands to Ken Wolfe and back inside for Houghton. Houghton gets the arms up and is able to basketball it away dangerously as Johns picks it up, sweeps it to O'Connor. You can put away the glasses, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, linesmen and ball boys. Michael O'Connor is under the black dot. Well, how do you reckon Chris Houghton feels as he walks back behind the goal line? Watch this piece of play from Penrith on the NEC replay and judge for yourself how Chris Houghton, this fellow, might feel as he throws this pass. And down she comes. Johns picks it up, gives it to O'Connor, and then the flying Jewel International put the head back like another famous St George centre, and away he went to score a try that has levelled up the scoreline in the NEC big game.
Penrith are a side that are capable of playing some brilliant attacking football, but sometimes they push the pass when it's not on, and this was one of those occasions. The ball went over the top. It didn't fall into a set of Penrith hands, but Michael O'Connor loomed up in support of a pass after the ball had been picked up. 3 Penrith players gave chase, but they were never going to get to him. He's got plenty of pace, and he was able to do the rest.
Now Mike O'Connor attempts conversion of his own try. A sales rep, 25 years of age, and has been with St George since '83. No problems for O'Connor from right in front. And the scoreline, St George 8, Penrith 6. This is Gerard. Goodwin. Alexander. It's Clements who puts the kick across the ground. Whoa, Walford! He's gone for the spectacular, and he's paid the penalty, has he not? It may have been forced by Burgess. The touch judge is standing in goal. He's ruled that it was knocked on. No, he must have ruled that it came off David Lydiard. Let's have another look at it. Roy Masters with his young Sean Masters alongside him. Now it's Young and Haddock on a run round, and this is Funnell using a cutout pass, and Linane, that's good football by Stephen Linane. Johnston gets a pass inside for Funnell, a head-high tackle, and it's now to Selby. And look at the big lock forward go! They're going to score again! Walford scores! A magical St George try that really came out of nothing. But if any youngsters are watching this NEC big game, aspiring to be Rugby League champions of the future, have a look at some of the high tackles and see what penalty Penrith pay. Johnston, he did fantastic work to take it to there. The head-high tackle on Funnell, it's brought about, well, part of the try. There were other fellows who missed tackles. And then Selby gave it to Walford, and Walford goes in to score for the Dragons.
For mine, this is Funnell's try. He handled the ball twice. We can see that he was the man that initially got a great pass away there to Linane, and then Linane flicked it back onto Johnson, who beat a tackle. Now, St George were fairly willing here because they were showing plenty of enthusiasm to pop the pass up in their own half. Finally, it was Selby that pushed off two defenders. He looked for support, and it was Ricky Walford that had come from the wing that answered the call.
Well, Rick Walford picks up the try for St George with 6 1/4 minutes of the first half remaining. Mike O'Connor again with a simple shot at goal, and St George rocket away from Penrith to lead by 14-6 in the NEC big game from league headquarters. Still time for St George with this set of 6 tackles to put that ball over the line again. Guider takes it to within 15 metres, and coach Tim Sheens must be increasingly worried about his standard of tackling. As it goes now to Funnell, he's able to stand and offload. Lydiard gives them 6 more, but Johnston obligingly, no, he's ruled knock backwards, and he says play on with 6 more, St George. Johnston to play it on the 10-metre line, right in front of the Bradman Noble stands as Young slips under a tackle, pops it out the back, and Wolford is for Penrith. As the players now go in, Young took a right from Houghton. Goodwin goes in to lend support. Punches being thrown left, right and centre. Alexander and Haddock are having their own private war as Goodwin and Young continue to deliver punches as Ken Wolfe lies on the ground not quite knowing what the heck's going on at the moment. Interesting stuff to say the very, very least. It all came over the tackle on Ken Wolfe. He was held. It was Young who came in late. There was no need for Young's presence. Linane had put a hand on the player with the ball. That's the tackle. And then Houghton took objection. Goodwin said to Houghton, I'll take over from here. Alexander, meantime, took Haddock aside out the back and said, we'll fight this out around the back of the stadium here somewhere. A very bad head cut for Ken Wolfe. That has come off the right knee of Young.
Well, John Fafita's been sent to the sin bin, and now Craig Young is going to join him.
Saints with 2 players in the bin, both for 10 minutes. Both for 10 minutes. Well, I'm going to put it straight on you now. I think when Bill Harrigan and his touch judges look at the replay, they will agree that the sin bin was a light penalty. Hello. There goes Mr. Houghton to the 10-minute sin bin as well.
I think the sin bin's a tremendous thing when it's used properly, but if it has one problem, it's that sometimes players who should be sent from the field get the lesser sentence.
And let me add some more fuel to the fire. It's not the first time it's happened this year. The very same incident. The ball bouncing up for Burgess. Away from Lydiard. Bad tackle by him. Inside Izzard. Both of them, the brothers Izzard. Now Brad comes from behind to make the tackle. And there's the siren. And again the tempers flare. This Penrith St George match that started off more like a Sunday school picnic when it came to fieriness has really erupted in the dying seconds of this first half. Well, if he sends anybody to the bin this time, there'll be more in the bin than on the football field. Meantime, Burgess came rolling away from this incident quite groggily. The siren has sounded as you see another of the eruptions in this match on the NEC replay. Burgess was tackled from behind by Brad Izzard. He had already beaten Brad Izzard and Craig and David Lydiard. As I said in the commentary earlier, Tim Sheens, he's got to make his foundation for his half-time talk very much on the score of defence. They're letting them run. So it was just cautions all round. The score at half-time, St George 14, Penrith 6. Half-time comment, Graham Hughes.
Ray, I think you've said it all about what Timmy Sheens is going to be saying to his boys at half-time. What they've got to do is go back to last Sunday and that performance against Manly Warringah. Their defence was outstanding, and that's the sort of form that can see them make their way through to the semi-finals. St George are playing with enormous confidence because of that defence. Everybody's getting in the queue and everybody's dying to have a run with the football. And one more thing for St George, I'm sure Roy Masters will be underlining to his players and just telling them that Western Suburbs are easily in front of Balmain at half-time. That's motivation in itself to get the Saints to go out there and continue this drive to the 1986 semi-finals.
Let's take it from Graham Hughes as the kick-off takes place.
Well, Robards out there in 14. He's taken up his fullback spot. Lydiard has moved to the wing, and David Green has moved into the centre position. I did manage to sneak into the dressing room. Ken Wolfe was in a pretty bad way. When I left, the doctor was still working on him, and at that stage, I think they'd put about 12 or 14 stitches into the wound.
Jeff Gerard goes up, and a penalty goes to Penrith. It's against St George for being inside the 5. And let me give you exactly the sin bin time remaining on those players. 9 minutes exactly remaining for Fafita, Young and Houghton. Now this tap will be taken, keeping in mind that Penrith have one more player than St George for the next 9 minutes. Their plan would be probably just a couple of forwards up, drawing a bit of defence, and then pushing the ball along the back line, looking for that overlap that must be there somewhere. Here's the tackle count at half-time, very much line ball, and Walsh contributing greatly to the St George defensive count. Goodwin. Well, I'm surprised at Penrith that most of these plays have been around the centre. Now it's Alexander stretching it, picking up David Green. Green gets inside Johns, away from Funnell, taken by Walsh. But that's 5 tackles gone. And only really one backline play. Alexander's kick goes down favourably for Burgess. He knocked it behind him, and then he's taken back in goal. It's a line dropout. So there's the kick by Alexander. It bounces up here. Burgess doesn't take it cleanly the first time. He knocks the ball down. So play down on the St George quarter line as it comes back to Clements and then to Brad Izzard, to David Lydiard. He props off the left and goes back in and away from 3 and 4 players. He was running in an arc-like fashion as he's tackled about 25 metres out from the St George line. Simmons now passes to Gerard, and Gerard is tackled by Walsh and by Selby, and play is 20 metres out from the St George line. Penrith desperately needing points as Alexander gets it to Craig Izzard. He stands his ground inside the touchline on tackle number 5. It comes to Greg Alexander. A long ball to Goodwin. Goodwin thinks he can do it himself, and by golly, I'll tell a man he can. Goodwin scores the Penrith try. Scoreline 14 points to 10 with the kick to come. Alexander's pass was a beauty. It found Goodwin after cutting out 2 players, and then this long, wiry Penrith prop forward leant out and put the ball down on the try line itself.
Penrith just continued to pepper away, and eventually a great pass by Lydiard came up with a try. It was Goodwin was tackled just short of the line. He could see the line in front of him, and he reached out and planted the ball down.
Matt Goodwin the try scorer and front rower for Penrith. Here's Alexander now. 15 out just off centre. He can make it 14-12 and we've got a ball game. He's missed it. Well, no worries, I don't suppose. They're still only 4 behind in the NEC big game. The Dragons and the Panthers from the mountains. And there goes Fafita and Young and Houghton, giving us 13 by 13 as Funnell. He's only 5 metres from the line.
Ruined a try then, Funnell. If he'd have looked inside, he'd have found Walford, who was unmarked.
It still might come that a try is scored as Guida stops as the defence comes up. He goes back and gives it to Brian Johnston. Johnston is 2 metres out from the line. Played by Johnston. It's gone out to Big Funnell. And Funnell is, oh, Jove, he's close. 5 tackles gone. There must have only been 1 blade of grass between him and the try line. He plays it back and Guida passes to Haddock to Lenane. Lenane throws the big ball to O'Connor, then to Walford. Here's a try in the scoreboard corner. Scored by Ricky Walford off another beautiful pass by Steve Lenane. Walford gets his second, but Lenane's passes have been one of the many features of this game. There's the ball from Haddock to Lenane. Now look at this. He let it go. It must have gone 15 metres. O'Connor just caught and passed. And Walford goes in to score. And the St George side lead by 18 points to 10.
Well, Walford had backed up to play the balls earlier and should have scored a try. He hurried quickly back out to his wing. Here we can see the Penrith defence in the shape of the number 5. The winger Gonzalez came in a bit too slow when the ball started to be spread. He finished up in no man's land, and that gave Walford the room he needed.
And it's not a good kick by O'Connor. It fell way out in front of the uprights. No change to the scoreline. Saints 18, Penrith 10. Walford. He's done some good things in the match, Rick Walford. Haddock. Johns. Tackled by Gerard. Guida. There's Walsh. Walsh will score. He's over the line. Momentum took him across. No double movement. Chris Walsh scores for St George. Out go the St George girls. Their moment of delight. Certainly a moment of ecstasy for big Chris Walsh. He was topping the tackle count at half-time. He still is. But this little midget of a man, Chris Guida, who retires from the game as of this year to pursue his religious beliefs, can I put it that way? He made it all possible for Walsh. And the big front row forward scores a deserved try.
All started with some bad marker defence by Penrith that meant that players in the line had to come in and take Guida. He split through, slipped the pass to Walsh, and he charged over.
22 to 10. And I guess Penrith wishes that was the time and not the score. 22 to 10. And he gets it. So it's 24 points to 10 in favour of the Dragons. You're watching the NEC big game from the SCG. Good one now. Royce Simmons undoubtedly will become Penrith's first kangaroo. Foster switching it to Alexander. He's decided to slip into a Howell. Howell gets a pass to Robards. Robards gets a pass back to Gary Howell, and he's flung to the ground 15 metres from the St George line. And away now to Alexander. A wide ball to Foster, then to Izzard. They've got the numbers. It's Lydiard turning it inside for David Green. He goes for the Paddo Hill corner. He's in. It's a try. Well, St George were outnumbered, but when David Green came back inside, I thought, oh, you've made the wrong decision. They had the numbers simply by promoting the football to the right like they were doing here. St George were going to run out of personnel, but then Green comes inside. there. That meant that the defence was there, but he ran right away from them. David Green scores wide out, and 24 points to 14 the score.
I thought Penrith might have bombed this. They always had the numbers, but it was very slow. Passes such as that one by Izzard and the pass inside by Foster, I thought they'd bombed it. The ball came back inside the green. Now, there were plenty of St George players here, but none of them seemed really committed to go in for the tackle. They were looking at one another, seeing what was going to happen. The player set sail for the corner and came up with a try.
Alexander with a big kick from the touchline. 21 out. He doesn't like it. The touch judges' flags are down. And 24 to 14 the score. Saints leading Penrith. There's no question now. Penrith's tactic is just to keep pushing the ball wide. Keep pushing it. We saw 4 backs there just stand in the one place and pass it. Alexander goes to the blind. Holds it back, and Robards looks for an opening, but he can't get through it. 5 gone for Penrith. Simmons goes from dummy half. He puts up the kick. Underneath it, Burgess. Oh, he's put it down. Oh dear. It's still loose on the ground. It'll be a scrum. Scrum will go down about 5 metres out from the St George line. There's no question about knock-ons against both here. There's where Penrith had their chance. Those players were both from behind the kicker. Here's a scrum won by the Panthers, and it's Foster who plays it. Simmons sweeps it to Alexander, to Brad Izzard, to Houghton. Houghton is tackled 8 metres out from the line. Can Penrith score again? If they can, we've got a heck of a finish coming up. David Green is tackled, and it's a Penrith penalty. At 24 to 14, they take a tap, and it's Gonzalez who's tackled on the first. Simmons has a running wall ready. There they go. Gerard goes up. He's within 4 metres of the line. Goodwin has run away from dummy half. Simmons has to duck in. Alexander puts the kick in for Izzard. He'll score. He'll score, yes! Brad Izzard scores for Penrith. Twice now, Greg Alexander has put perfect kicks into the in goal. He knows it's a deep in goal at the cricket ground, a legitimately deep in goal at the cricket ground. It can be a maximum of 11, and twice now he's put players in to score, Brad Izzard being the second of them.
Alexander's always spot on with these kicks. He realised that Burgess wasn't back in the area where the fullback should have been. He put the kick through for Izzard. Izzard showed a lot of pace, came through and dropped on the ball for the 4 points.
See it again on the NEC replay. Classic football. Well, if there were some doubts about Lydiard's try early in the match, there certainly were no doubts about Izzard's. Alexander's 11 metres in, 20 metres out. Can he kick this one? It's coming around. It's gone over. It's a goal for Alexander, and 24 to 20 in favour of the Dragons. And it's Penrith who desperately need the ball. Saints looking like they're going to come out with the premiership points. Away it goes to big Pat Jarvis, and Jarvis is 15 metres away. Playing it back to Chris Geider. Blind side now for Selby to give to Burgess. Burgess, oh, he went within 1 inch of getting a pass to Billy Noak. It's Selby at dummy half. They hit the blind again, and Johns is tackled. And 5 tackles have gone now for St George. Here they go across to Haddock. He puts in a little kick, and Gerard is tackled for Penrith. A couple of metres out from his own line. And only seconds remaining now as Craig Connor is tackled. And St George realising that Penrith are likely to kick on an early tackle, have their halfback and their fullback, and in fact a winger standing relatively deep. As Penrith goes into touch, a scrum will form about 15 metres out from their own line.
Please keep on sitting in the ground at the end of the game. Would you please keep on sitting in the ground at the end of today's game? Thank you.
Scrum won, but a penalty goes to Penrith. He's got the lock. He's got Graham Wynn for breaking prior to the ball coming out. And really, all the rule says is that they had more than the required or allowable a number of backs.
Well, keep your eye on Greg Alexander here. It's probably too late for Penrith, but if they've got any chance at all, he's the man that'll try something.
So there's a few Mr. Magics in this game of rugby league. One of them is out there now, but he's not going to get a chance to perform his Houdini trick here this afternoon. St George 24, Penrith 20 for the Dragons. Walford 2, O'Connell Walsh 1, O'Connell 4 goals. And for Penrith, Lydiard, Goodwin, Green and Brad Izzard tries Alexander 2 goals. Here's Graham with Roy Masters.
Roy, I think we've got to stop meeting like this. You keep on putting these finishes on.
Oh, it looks a little bit like 09 and 83, but we're in the 5 for the first time this year, and we're very, very happy.
Now let's have a look at the results of other matches played so far in this round of Winfield Cup football. East 27, Manly 22 yesterday. That was the start of the shocks. Cronulla 12, Illawarra 6, Canterbury 32, Canberra 14, Saints 24, Penrith 20, and have a look at that one on the bottom of the screen. The Magpies 36, Balmain 6.
At Leichhardt Oval, Gary Jack notched up 100 first-grade games. But the Magpies had their own reason to celebrate 4 minutes later when a clever set play from Clark to Crooks put the big Englishman into the gap for Petherbridge to score. 20 minutes later, Crooks and Clark again combined, with the halfback this time moving upfield before unloading to Paul Sheehan, who does the rest. West were leading 18-2 after Brett Clark had scored his own try, while the Tigers had to wait until just before the break for their first. West extended their 18-6 half-time lead when Michael Neal cut through some ordinary defence, giving Rod Petherbridge his second try. It was a day Balmain will want to forget, with West running in 4 second-half tries, completing a resounding 36 points to 6 upset victory.
At the Seaford Sports Ground, Canberra shocked the Bulldogs by holding them to 14-all at half-time. Canberra scored a surprisingly easy try when Mal Meninga was able to scoop up a spool pass and send Terry Fay across. Canterbury hit back in typical fashion, though, with a sweeping backline movement that saw Terry Lamb backing up to touchdown. Then a clever kick through by Paul Langmack set up Steve O'Brien. Just before half-time, halfback Chris O'Sullivan made an incisive burst for the Raiders, and Phil Kerry unloaded to give Terry Fay try number 2. The Bulldogs ran away, though, in the second half to make the final scoreline Canterbury 32, Canberra 14.
Down south at Wollongong, it was a dour struggle. The Sharks scored the first try after 20 minutes. Just when they were going nowhere, Jonathan Docking came off skipper David Hatch to dash over in a handy position. Cronulla ended their scoring for the match 5 minutes later, with the clever Gavin Miller making the try possible. He found Andrew Eddinghausen, and the youngster pinned his ears back and headed downfield, before drawing the defence and sending winger Phil Hurst across in the corner, and the Sharks led 12-0 at the break. Illawarra, who find tries hard to come by, got their only one 15 minutes into the second half. Seamus O'Connell started things rolling before Jeff Hardy penetrated. He found Steve Worthington, who looped up a pass for O'Connell to plunge over. But it wasn't enough, with Cronulla hanging on, winning 12-6, leaving the Steelers at the bottom of the premiership table with Canberra.
For the end of a big weekend of Winfield Cup football, it honour it is to Monday night football under lights for the first time ever at Parramatta Stadium. The Eels at home against North Sydney. And North Sydney, well, it really did look as though this was going to be their last chance at those semi-finals in 1986. But one did wonder, of course, as we take our minds back just 7 days, were we about to see another explosive start, just like it was at Belmore Sports Ground, to Monday night football?
Time on. Bears running left to right. Sterling's got his eyes on it. Now he's got his hands on it, and it's been spun across to Kenny.
I think what will be of particular interest tonight is the way the synthetic football, which has had a lot of criticism in recent weeks, performs under the wet conditions. It's had its detractors, particularly the kickers, but from what I've seen in the lower grades tonight, it does appear as if the players are able to handle this ball better in the wet than the old leather ball.
Sterling. Kick bouncing about 10 metres into North Sydney's area. Played by Greg Lennon, a classy Union player from the Randwick club, now playing league with the Bears. Bella. That's Cross. Peter playing in 13 tonight. He's probably better in 9 or 10. Away now, and they're going to switch the point of the attack from open to blind, and Murchie did his part. The fullback came into the play. The ball has gone down, and it'll be a knock-on. Ray Price read that play very well. He interrupted the execution of it. Sterling, that kick will plug down into the big in goal, the controversial in goal as it's now become known. And Conlon's got about 5 metres still to get back into the field of play. He's made it. Good effort, but he's into touch.
That was a super kick by Sterling. It had no intention of finding the sideline. He merely wanted to put it down into the in goal and stop it. Meant that North Sydney had to try and run the ball out, and as they tried to do that, the player was hemmed in on the sideline and finally forced into touch.
Incidentally, talking of this in goal, have they done an official measurement on it?
I spoke to Dennis Fitzgerald before the game, and it is 13 metres.
Well, that's 2 metres too deep.
That's right.
Well, why hasn't it been reduced?
Well, if I was the club secretary and Peter Sterling was in my side, I wouldn't reduce it either unless I had instructions to do so from the league, and he's had no such instruction.
Here's Parramatta on the attack, Bill. They're only 10 metres out. Back to Sterling, away to Kenny. Kenny short ball, Cronin, then the run around. They're sweating on Cronin. Ball and all, smother tackle by Casey. They're back on the 22. Here's Lee Beater. 13 metres out from the line. Played back to Mosley. Spun to Sterling, given to Kenny, dummy to Cronin, into a hole goes Stephen Sharp, back it goes for Sterling, out it goes for Ray Price. Price spins, oh, come on, he said, where are you? 5 tackles gone. Sterling will punch it, I would think, to the right, but it's a penalty. A penalty to Parramatta. Here was Price. He was begging for somebody to come off him, and now he tries to get up. I'm not sure what the hell they call Bella out for now.
Could only be that the referee saw the number 1 and thought it was 11.
Well, I was just going to say, I think he's mistaken Conlon for Bella. If it's to do with what you just saw on camera, quite obviously, he's made a complete misjudgment of the culprit. But getting back to Bella, he has that nick on the cheekbone, and Cronin gets the 2 points. So there's the opening score in tonight's Monday Night Football. 2-0 in favour of Parramatta. So there it is, out the same tunnel. He wants it again, Cooley.
Well, you get the feeling it's just a matter of time, don't you? Because the position in front of us here, which is very much into the North Sydney territory on the football field, is where most of the game's been played. Parramatta just continue to hammer away.
Cronin and Kenny putting it on Billy. Taylor goes inside the 32. Jackson and Setri backing up. Setri's got the ball, and he's tackled 15 metres up.
Yeah, that was too easy. It's just a matter of time now.
Dummy half Mosley. They're in the middle of the ground. They've got an attack on both sides. Sterling holds it back. Cronin flicks it out. Goes ahead, does Stephen Sharp, and he's tackled 7 metres out from the line. First try scorer ever at the stadium as Mosley goes from dummy half, taking it towards the centre of the ground. They're only 3 metres out. The ball comes back to Bugden, then he puts it back to Lee Beater, and it was there for Stephen Sharp to fall on, but he felt that he was offside and would give an unnecessary penalty. 5 tackles gone as Setri plays it. It's gone blindside. Cronin has to juggle it. Out the back it comes. Kicked by Norths. Now if Parramatta come up with it, they're not going to. Oh, put away the glasses. They say this bloke is like greased lightning, and I'll tell you what, he looks very much like it. Lennon goes all the way for the Bears to score. North Sydney 4, Parramatta 2. Greg Lennon, the number 5 Randwick Union player, scores for North Sydney. Here's the Tooheys replay. Cronin, he juggled it. Then he let it go out the back. The ball was kicked down the ground, and then Lennon gets an absolutely freakish bounce, and then away he goes. He didn't even have to, well, probably he slowed down a little bit, but it seemed that he just swooped on it and away he went. Greg Lennon scores for the Red and Blacks.
Well, such are the vagaries of football. It looked as if Parramatta were going to score at one end of the field. A bad pass by Cronin. It was scooped up, and North scored at the other. But let me say, although Parramatta were very missed, they didn't try to cover that up well at all.
Well, he's taking plenty of time with us. Oh. No troubles at all. Almost kicking it out of the stadium. There's the score, 6-2 in favour of the Bears. This is Cross, who plays it back to Teasdale, and it's gone to Murchie, and now a cross for Cannon, who's put those little kicks in. That wasn't one of them, but it's gone straight to Delroy. He puts on a sprint. He's over the halfway, and he's cut down on the North Sydney 40-metre line.
Well, what Cannon's been doing is chipping inside his own quarter and long kicking when he gets up to halfway. I think he's got it back to front.
11 minutes to go first half. Sterling, they've got numbers on the left. Sharp gives a short ball for Kenny. Kenny looks to try and get it, but can't get it away. Played back to Mosley now. Away for Sterling again. They've got numbers on the right. Cronin knows that. He's running over towards his winger, Delroy. Puts on a little sprint, calls him inside, and Delroy puts it down. That was bad play by Delroy.
The referee's rule no knock on there. It looked for all intents and purposes as if it would have been.
Grubber kick by Sterling. Oh, Conlon, no, he's taken an air swing. Heavens above, they're flirting with more than danger. This is like playing with cyanide. Have a look at this man, Conlon. Bingo, it's an air swing. I bet he doesn't count it. And then it's forced in goal by Cannon. Thank God for Cannon. Sterling had them beaten to the world. Here's the line dropper. They'll have to send you for a twoies or two if you're a North Sydney supporter. Sterling plays the ball now. Mosley. Taylor. Price. Bugden.
Well, the coach of North Sydney, Brian Norton, won't be very happy, but I'll tell you what, Parramatta coach John Money will be absolutely ropeable if Parra can't put points on here before half-time. They've done all of the attacking but can't get the ball over the line.
That ball will be play on for Chalmers to dive on. Played back to Jackson. Jackson ducks under the markers and is tackled just inside the 22 line. 5 tackles gone for the Eels. They may elect to run it. It's gone to Taylor. He decides to put the kick in. It's, oh, what a freakish bounce off the horizontal bar. And they've come up with the ball. That's the turnover, however. Well, Paul Taylor will probably tell you he aimed for it. Bingo, he gets it in one go. The horizontal bar.
Wasn't much of a shot. He missed the black dot.
Martin Bella with that blood, well, congealing under that cut now. Penalty goes to the Bears. And the siren sounds. Of course, referee Phil Curley has now set himself a huge job for the second half. He's decided to pinch halfbacks for an incorrect feed, eh? All right, so Teasdale takes the tap. He just puts a grubber kick across the touchline, and there's the score. North's leading Parramatta by 6 points to 2 after a half a game of rugby league in Tooheys Monday Night Football. Don, I didn't think I'd live to see the day that somebody would be interviewed by you who in fact is taller than you.
Taller than me? Forget about it. What's your name?
Derek Polk.
Hi, mate. What are you doing playing basketball out here?
Yes, I play for the Sydney NEC Supersonics.
And you too?
I'm a coach.
Are you? Well, nice. So what are you? You're about 6'6". What do you hit? 6'9", 6'10"?
7.
7 foot you are? Well, I never thought the day would come. The game is on. Have you seen Rugby League before?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
It really is good, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, you took good care of the girls. Nice to see you, and good luck to the Supersonics, all right? Thanks, boys. Nice to talk to you. Back to the game, guys.
That was the night the lanky Yank really met his match. 7 foot tall. So it's Cannon who puts the kick in. Have to raise the height of the basket, actually, to let him play. This man is Taylor. Dummy on Bugden. Way to Sterling. It's now with Cronin. This man is Jackson. Slip sliding away there for a moment. Tackler was Lennon. And a knock on by Cronin. Pat on the back from Sterling for Cronin. Probably saying, don't worry about it. I guess it. Bella is being spoken to in front of his captain, Mark Graham. I was going to say, times have changed a bit. You can recall Cronin patting the youngsters on the back and saying, come on, don't worry about it. Now they're doing the same to him. Here's Murchie now. Tacklers were Setri and Price. Now it's Cannon who's tackled by Setri. Coming back to the blind, Mark Graham's a blindside running specialist, and he turns it inside there. That's Casey, is it not? No, it's the number 1, Conlon. Played back for Teasdale to give to Murchie and then to Bella. Beautiful tackle by Mosley. Cannon's the dummy half. Up and at him goes Gavin Jones. Good run by the big State of Origin player. 5 tackles gone for the Red and Blacks. Cannon puts the kick up. Murchie's going to prove menacing. Oh, it's been put down by Casado. It's a try. It's a try for the Bears. I believe Murchie. It may have been Cannon, but I'll certainly have a look at it with you on the replay. I believe it was the little halfback as we see the congratulations go round. Casado couldn't hold it. And then the little number 7 gets his hands to it. Yes, it's Murchie's try. Good work by the North halfback.
Who said the bomb was dead and buried? It's certainly not under these conditions. The kick was put up and it was a good one. 2 Parramatta players went for the ball. Probably would have been better for one to call it and the other provide protection. There was a fumble and Murchie dropped on it for the try.
There it goes again. The up and under. The dreaded bomb. Casado, he can't take it, and Murchie goes bingo and claims 4 points for the Bears. Conlon now from 12 metres out. Straight over the black dot. And look at these Bears. 12 points to 2 in front of the Eels. Mosley, he's wearing that black electrician's tape around the forehead. It's been recommended that it's dangerous by the medical people. It tends to tighten the skin up. Muggleton, chain passing to Cassato. And of course, if you get a bump on it when the skin is so taut, it'll split very easily. It's gone across now to Sterling. Then on, Price. Well, Jones got a hip on Price, and that hurt the Parramatta lock. 5 gone. Here's the hit again. It's just simply a shoulder and hip charge on Price. It's Lennon. Price still recovering. Teasdale's not very well for North either. He's out on the left wing, getting back in closer as I speak. Martin Bella. They've got a big sportsman's luncheon at their club on Friday. North is Fred Daly and John Madlin, guest speakers. I hope they have a very successful day. Across now for Cannon. Charge down by Muggleton. This is the opening they've been hoping for. Muggleton has to stop to pick it up. He knew he didn't have the pace probably to win a race for the ball, a foot race. Struck in to play the ball. 6 more. Cronin dives on it. Played back to Ray Price. Cassato. Price is still not 100% as I watch him retire back to the blind. It goes to Sterling, then to Kenny. There's... Oh, Bugden! Heavens above, Gavin Jones has hit him. He's hit him with another hip and shoulder charge, similar to the one on Price. And now Mosley can't handle, and North's knock on. Mark Graham is down getting attention as the scrum is worked, the 5-metre scrum. It's a penalty to Parramatta. Now Cannon has taken a dive to the ground. Cooley said, "I saw it, get up and let's play football." Cannon is wobbling around. Parramatta's got the ball. Mosley throws a couple of dummies. He'll play the ball 2 metres out. Cannon's back on his feet. He's in the defensive line. So he apparently has made a quick recovery. Graham is back on his feet as well as Price tries to burrow from dummy half. He fails. And I'd say if Parramatta can't score here, they're in desperate trouble. Price, he kicks it ahead, and it's a penalty to Parramatta. A penalty to Parramatta against Norths inside the 5. A tap taken by Sterling. Sterling's tackled 2 metres out. Another penalty. Here's the sin bin on Bella. 10 minutes in the sin bin on Martin Bella. As Parramatta now don't take the penalty on the mark, and he's going to put a scrum down. Who? Peter Cross in the sin bin. This man is Jerd. Sterling working the blind, and this is Muggleton. Muggleton is tackled 12 metres out from the line. 5 gone. Sterling's going to put it up or across. It's a penalty to Parramatta. North still playing with 12 men. Sterling takes the tap. Mosley calls Chalmers around. He's only about 5 metres away. Mosley goes into the acting half. Graham leans on the man trying to get up. It should have been a penalty. It's Price who goes from dummy half. He's tackled a couple of metres from the line. Played back to Mosley. He throws the dummy. He's over the line. Mosley picks up the try from dummy half. Cronin won't take very much time with this conversion. Mosley with blood coming from that gash gets the congratulations of Brett Kenny as we watch the Tooheys replay. And I'd say Parramatta fans watching at home have gone for plenty of the golden amber, the amber fluid tonight. Cronin's conversion successful. 12 points to 8. That's the score. You're watching Tooheys Monday Night Football. Cannon is tackled 32 metres out. That's the turnover. So Parramatta now, in fact, have got their last opportunity. Oh, that's an important tackle by Jones on Kenny. He's had a blinder, Jones. It's come to Cronin. Cronin away to Jackson, and up they come again, the Bears. Mauling in over the Parramatta attackers. Jackson plays it. Taylor gives it. It's number 21, Ford, who's tackled with the ball. Excitement supreme, a nail-biter again on Tooheys Monday Night Football. Sterling to Kenny, Kenny to Price. Price gives it to the winger, Chalmers. Chalmers centre kicks. Coming through is Taylor. The bounce, though, favours the Bears. And the crowd again goes back to their seats. Played by Martin. And this is MacArthur. Tackled by Lee Beater and Mosley. Played back to Teasdale. Tackled by Mosley. And again the ball is played by the North Sydney hooker. And this is MacArthur who plays the ball. Back and away it comes again, this time for Hansen. Tackler was Jerd together with Lee Beater. 5th tackle. And don't get trapped with the ball here, fellows. If you... Oh, they've put it out on the full. It might have come off a Parramatta charge down, though. I'm pretty sure it came off Stan the Man Jerd. This will be a North Sydney feed. No, it came off the hands of Ray Price. It's a North Sydney feed, all right. Well, it's come away to Parramatta. It's Kenny getting the pass away. It's with Taylor. Taylor to Kenny. Kenny's inside the 32. Casato's going for the corner. He's pulled down 6 metres out. The siren sounds. It's all over. The Bears have won. North Sydney have won this Tooheys Monday night football match by 12 points to 8. 2 tries and 2 goals. Well, there's the scoreboard. Lennon and Murchie scored the tries for the Bears. Conlon kicked 2 goals. And for Parramatta, Mosley the try and Cronin 2 goals. The Premiership table after tonight's Tooheys Monday night football. It looks like this. Parramatta 32, still on top of the competition. In front of 3 teams, jointly there. Canterbury, Manly, Souths in second. Balmain Saints 24 with North Sydney 24. Penrith 23, then a 3-point break to Eastern Suburbs 20. Cronulla 19, West 17, Canberra 16 together with Illawarra. Next weekend, the matches: East play Saints, the Magpies play the Steelers, North take on Manly, Souths versus Canberra, Cronulla has the bye, and on Sunday, the NEC big game, and what a big one, Canterbury versus Parramatta at the Belmore Sports Ground. That's our telecast match. And Monday night football comes back here to the stadium. It's a Penrith home match against Balmain. That's all we've got this week. Thanks for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed it. Winfield, of course, take great pride and pleasure in presenting it for you each and every week. And I'll see you next week when we go round on the greatest game of all.